All right, so Unit 10.3, arc length. Now we already have the formula for arc length in the notes. It is, again, just like very similar to the area of a sector. It's a portion of the circle, and we find the portion by taking x over 360, where x is the central angle. All right, or the arc measure, because again, we do know the arc measure and the central angle are equivalent. So x over 360 times the circumference, which is 2 pi r. Okay. Now, you can reduce this. That's how fractions work. The 360 and the 2 can cancel out and give you another formula, which is x over 180 times pi r. Or you can write it as x pi r over 180. That's also fine. So many ways to write this. You're going to want your calculator ready. Let's do a lot of rounding to the nearest hundredth on these. So here we have r6, x is 107. So we have 107 times pi times 6 divided by 180, and you can just type that straight in. Make sure your calculator is in function and not polar mode. So 107 times pi times 6 divided by 180, times 6. Gives you about 18.68. And it's in meters, so meters. So yeah, it does help if I type this as 180. So it does change my answer a bit. Okay. So 11.21 meters. That's the nice thing about actually writing what you're going to type in on a test or quiz. So in case I see like that's correct, but you get the wrong answer, I'm going to go, something happened when I typed it. Okay, it happens. All right. So really, honestly, there's really not much point. I mean, number 2 is the same. Number 3, let's look at number 3. Because here they don't give us the central angle that we need. We need this angle here. So we're going to do 360 minus 142. So that gives you 218. So 218 times pi times 4 over 180. So 15.22 centimeters. All right. Same thing with number 4. It's just they make sure when you're looking at the angle, it's actually the central angle for the arc we're looking for. So we want to find this angle measure. All right. Given that EB, the radius is 15, find the length of CD. All right, well, since we do know that this is a semicircle, the central angle here is 180 minus 68, which is 112. So 15 times, or actually 112 times pi times 15. over 180. .32 centimeters. Okay, given that NR is 8, so the radius is 8, find the length of NMP. NMP. So this arc right here. Similar concept, we're going to take this as a semicircle. So we're going to find this arc measure here, MN, to be, what, 18? Which makes that 18. So 180 plus 18, 198 total. So 198 times pi times the radius, which is 8 over 180. $27.65 feet. Right. So here we want the arc length of UT, given that VS, now VS is the diameter, so the radius would be 6. All right, we know this is 90. Okay. We do know that this is a semicircle, so that this arc measure here would be 180 minus 127. It's 53. Which makes UT the arc measure for UT. So the angle, we'll say X, is what? 90 minus 57, 30, minus 53, so 33, 37. 37 pi times 6 over 180. Gives you 3.87 meters. Right, JH, another diameter, which means the radius is 10.5. Find the length of KGJ. So KG all over here, J. Well, that's quite a bit. Well, we do know that this right here is a semicircle. All right. So if we take 180 minus 85 to get 95, that's the measure of this angle here, which means that this arc measure is 360 minus that 95. So 360 minus 95. So you could have done this in a whole different way. You could have just done 180 plus 85. That's 180 plus 85. 265. So 265 times pi times 10.5 over 180. All right. Gives me 48.56 inches. Now, can anybody tell me why that's wrong? What was I supposed to find the arc measure of? KJG. My little dyslexia got me this morning. I read that as KGJ. Okay? So, it's KJG, which means I'm supposed to find this arc measure. It's important to be able to read that correctly. So I need to find this little angle here and subtract that from 360. Now, the nice thing is I already know that that's 95 degrees, which means if I add these together, I get 154, which means 180 minus 54 is 26, and then 360 minus 26 is 334. I'm getting to a point where I actually like making mistakes, because that's honestly something that one of you may do, so keep an eye out for it. Make sure you're going around the correct arc. KJG, not KGJ. So that gives me 334. Now that's going to change my answer to 61.21 inches. All right. FG, that is the radius, so this is your R value. Find the arc length of FED, so FED here. Well, that's a little bit easier. These two add together gives you what? 127, and 360 minus 127 is 233. So 233 times pi times 27 over 180. Gives you 109.8 yards. All right. WS is the radius, so we're good there. Final length of TS. All right. Now we need the length of, we need this angle here first, and that's 180 minus 128, which is 52. All right. 52 and 31 add together is 83. So 180 minus 83 is 97. So 97 degrees times pi times 4.5 divided by 180. $7.62 millimeters. All right, 16-inch pendulum swings through an angle of 40 degrees. How far does the tip of the pendulum travel in a single swing? So we have a pendulum. All right, it's swinging 40 degrees. It is 16 inches long. So that is 40 times 16 times pi over 180. That gives you 11.17 inches. And number 12, cars entered a roundabout from Mason Avenue, traveled 280 feet, and then turned onto Perry Street. The roundabout has a diameter of 150 feet. Find the angle of rotation. So this time we're trying to find x. Given diameter, which means the radius is 75. We have the actual arc length, so 280 is equal to x times pi times 75 over 180. So first thing, we can just multiply both sides by 180. So 280 times 180. 50,400 equals 75 pi times x. So divide this. Make sure you divide, you put this in parentheses, you do both together. 75 pi gives you x is about 213.9. Now the nearest degree means 214 degrees. And that is it for the notes. So tomorrow and Wednesday, because I'm not going to give you guys a quiz on Wednesday. I don't like giving tests or quiz on Wednesday. I want to make sure you have enough time. So we're going to review tomorrow and Wednesday, quiz on Thursday, covering the first 3 topics. Okay. So naming parts of a circle, finding area circumference of a circle, finding arc length, and central angles, and arc measures in degrees. Okay. Questions? All right, go ahead and get started on the homework.